Hello, everybody. It's been a while. I wanted to pick up where I left off and get this YouTube channel going. As many of you know, I've been a personal trainer for over a decade here in Los Angeles. I had a short stint in Atlanta. We left and had some business to take care of over there, but we're back. And there's so many things that have changed, especially you know with me. So I wanted to share some of that stuff. As we're getting older, our needs change, our fitness has to change, our nutrition has to change. So it's a new chapter post 40s. So I wanted to get back to that, get back to you, share some of the stuff that I've learned, share some of the new stuff that I'm practicing, and connect and see what you think, and hopefully we can start a community and get a dialogue going, and and I can learn from you, you can learn from me, and that'll be the purpose of this channel. So what have I been up to? That's a mouthful. So like I said, I went to Atlanta for a couple of years. We bought a house there, and we had to renovate it and all that. And this is boring stuff, and which explains what I'm going to divulge. So I was diagnosed with diabetes, and this past June, and it was very worrisome. It was very scary, and I didn't understand. My previous blood work showed that I was pre-diabetic, which should have been a sign for me to get it together. But like I said, a lot of changed in my life. Traveling, leaving LA, there was a lot of stresses. There's a lot of inconsistencies. My schedule was erratic, and my workouts were, all over the place, and so was my diet. So if I were to be honest, I would say like 2.5 years of that. Even when I came back to LA, it was hard for me to get back to my routine, and I didn't have my garage with all my equipment. So anyway, the thought of going back to a gym scared me. But anyway, I finally started to get it together and started working on going back to intermittent fasting, eating whole foods, and exercising. I wasn't exercising regularly. I have a lot of inflammation, and there's like aches and pains, and so I was like doing just walking to the beach, or just very, very light stuff. And so I go see the doctor, and he says, "You have diabetes," which, to be honest with you, freaked me out. Here's why: because I was already losing weight. So I was I lost 20 pounds from when I left LA, which was like almost a year. So I was already losing weight, and I think in LA, in Atlanta, I was 220, and I was like 199, 198 here, before, like around May, June. And so when I went, I'm like, this is serious, because I'm losing weight, and it's not, and I have diabetes, I have high blood sugar. So there are a lot of things when you hear this diagnosis. So what you need to understand is this. Number one, they measure your A1C. Your A1C is the storage of sugar in your system, in your blood. So sugar attaches to the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin's life span is 3 months, so it attaches to it. So when they measure it, they see the numbers. They don't know if it's the beginning or the end, right? So to be careful, once they measure you, they wait another 3 months to. So if they caught it at the beginning, then by the time you measure it again, it will be 3 months, and if you caught it in the middle, then it'll be 3 months. So you get the point. So yeah, it was very high. It was 11.5 or something like that. And then so that's the A1C. So that's the 3 months. That's the reserve. Normal is below 5, 5.6 or something like that, and then that to 7 is pre-diabetic, and 7 and above is diabetic. So I'm killing it. Yeah, 11.5. The other one was my blood sugar. So when I went there, I went in the morning. I was fasting. I didn't eat, and they measured my blood, and it was 300. So I didn't understand what that meant, and he didn't care to explain. He just said, it's very high. So when I did my research, I realized that that's just like the balance sheet is at that moment. That's what my blood sugar was. 300 is very high. Anything above 120 is diabetic. 120 to 100 is pre-diabetic. Below 100 is normal. So that's my research. He didn't explain any of this to me. Needless to say, I'm not very fond of this doctor, and I'm looking for another one. So when he when he told me that, the first thing obviously was to get on medication. So he tried to push everything on me, and as soon as he said Ozempic, I just like the hairs in the back of my head stood up, and I said no. He was like, why? And I'm like, I heard. He was like, you heard of it? And I'm like, yeah, horror stories. He's like, he rolled his eyes, and I'm like, yes, I'm not gonna use it. So he was like, well, I can't, got defensive, and he was like, I can't force you to do anything. So it's your body, it's your life. But but I have to tell you, if this is very serious, and the next step is chopping off limbs. I'm like, really, bro? We're gonna get dark that quick? Okay. So I said, that's fine. He said, other doctors will put you on insulin. With these numbers, they would put you on insulin. And I said, well, listen, here's what you don't understand. This is my background. And he was like, yeah, well, you're not that fat, so that's the worrisome part. Again, he's like other doctors will put you on insulin injections. So I said, okay, well, let me go do my research, and let me no. So here's what happened. I did the test and got the results, and he says you have diabetes, schedule an appointment. So when I got the results, I did my research, and I found out that with diet and nutrition, with diet and exercise, you can if you're healthy and your body is healthy and receptive to the change, then you can go into remission. So, and there's science that backs it, studies that backs it. As recent as a couple of years ago, and as old as 15-20 years ago. So it's not they're still hanging on that the fear of, oh, you have diabetes, they're gonna cut off your legs and hands or whatever. So it's not like that anymore. And there's so many hacks, so many tricks, learning how to eat, learning how what to do before and after eating. So it's the information is out there. There's a lot of it, and some of it is cuckoo, and some of it is fact-based and science-based. So you just need to figure out. But that's what I'm gonna start to cover on this channel, as well as, you know, the traditional stuff that I do, nutrition and fitness. I want to talk about, you know, this. And for people who are pre-diabetic, for people who are normal, have normal blood sugar, this is information that helps everybody, not just diabetics. So so anyway, I said, well, I did research, and this is what I found, this is what I found, this is what I found. It was like, well, you know, yeah, but, you know, what are the chances? And this is, and I'm like, listen, I think it was 2 weeks between the test and the second appointment. So within those 2 weeks, I cut sugar, I cut carbs, and started working out. It was dumb to cut carbs, but I was doing intermittent fasting and I was losing weight already. So, and I was cutting carbs slowly. So that's why nothing, you know, bad happened to me. So I don't advise cutting carbs. Just, you know, no more carbs, just meat and vegetables, and you know, there's a little bit of carbohydrates in the vegetable, but it's not like the starches and complex carbs. So but yeah, I cut rice, pasta, bread, potatoes, everything, sweet potatoes, everything. If it wasn't meat or vegetable, I didn't eat it. And sugar. So when I sat down and looked at myself and was like, you know, be honest, I realized I was eating sugar every night. Even when I was losing weight and I was you know, working out, you know, once or twice a week or whatever, I was eating sugar every night. So hence the 300 when I went to see him that day. So I'm like, okay, here's what I've done, here's what I'm going to continue doing. He was like, well, I mean, let's be realistic. It's very sad because this guy is like, he has to be in his mid-30s. He's not 40 yet. And to be like this pessimistic, I mean, I understand that we are money to them and to the system. But he was like, you know, well, I'm like, well, listen, you don't know who I am, you don't know what I'm about, and you don't know how crazy I can go. So I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna cut sugar, I'm gonna cut carbs until I can't. And then when I can't, I will come and say, hey, I need more medication or whatever. So so that kind of, I mean, I didn't really care. I was going to do what I was going to do anyway. So it was like, all right, well, then take this and then come back in a month and reassess. But I need you to measure your blood. And I'm like, sure. So got the blood monitor and kept on with my workouts, kept on with my diet, no sugar, no added sugar. I cut all fruits except apples and berries. And as of, I think, a month ago, I cut blueberries as well because they have a little bit more, they're higher sugar than the raspberries and the strawberries. So apples, apples is just, I will die before I give up apples. And now I get like the small tiny ones from Costco. So so apples with the anyway, we'll talk about the food later. So yeah, no added sugar, no cookies, no cake, no chocolate, no nothing. I prided myself in not drinking soda, and my sister introduced us to the poppy stuff, and they were like, oh, you know, they have prebiotics and they don't have a lot of sugar, so it's just like sparkling water with a little bit. And they all lie. They all lie. So if it's not water or sparkling water, I don't drink it. So that's what I'm at right now. I've been measuring my blood now for July, August, September, so 3 months. I'm gonna see him in 2 weeks. My blood my blood numbers or blood sugar numbers are in the normal range. So 87 to 100. This morning was 107. But I ate a little bit of nuts before I measured it, and also worked out. So I worked out before on a fast. So I worked out. That's the other thing. So there's a lot of things that we're going to talk about. Just to let you know, because they use the data, they use the numbers to scare people, but they don't explain the context. So anyway, this is a long video. I just wanted to let you know what's been going on, and that there are going to be videos, talking about nutrition, but also dealing with what I'm going through until remission, because I am determined. I'm not going to let these I'm not going to let big pharma use me as their piggy bank. Anyway, thank you. If you have any questions, please ask, comment, subscribe, share. I'm going to be posting more videos about my workouts, what is the most efficient workouts to burn calories, to burn fat, and nutrition. There's a lot of recipes that I've developed, and there's a lot of hacks that I learned to lower your blood sugar and to lower the absorption of the sugar into your blood and everywhere else. Okay, that is it for now, and I will talk to you soon.